Ah, yes, Steve Bannon, also known as Darth Sidious. Steve Bannon, a somewhat shadowy figure behind the scenes of right-wing political propagandists, um, at one point worked for Donald Trump, is now arrested and in a bit of hot water. Steve Bannon and others indicted in alleged We Build the Wall fundraising scheme. A federal grand jury in Manhattan has indicted former Trump campaign chairman Steve K. Bannon, accusing him and three others of conspiracy to commit wire fraud and conspiracy to commit money laundering in a border wall fundraising scheme. Uh-oh. And it's interesting, too, because I had absolutely heard of quite a bit crowdfunding campaigns going into trying to independently build the wall, which is a bizarre concept. But which one in specific this was related to, I didn't quite know. But this is revelatory stuff. The sealed indictment, made public Thursday, accuses the four of organizing a scam around a fundraising campaign called We Build the Wall, which offered to crowdsource donations to build President Trump's long-promised wall along the Mexican border. Brian Kolfage, an Air Force veteran and triple amputee who ran the crowd-funded border wall project, was also charged. The group raised at least $25 million since its December 2018 inception. So you have a face. You have a face to put in front of this basically scam, and you make it a veteran with one limb. And now he's going to go down with these shadowy people. Wow. This is some straight evil shit. Kolfage is accused of taking more than $350,000 in money raised for the project for his personal use. Uh-oh, well, maybe he's not so innocent. While Bannon allegedly siphoned more than $1 million out of the fundraising effort through an unnamed nonprofit. Ooh, uh-oh. The charges were announced by acting U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, Audrey Strauss, who stepped into her role after Attorney General Bill Barr ousted her predecessor. Barr had attempted to install an outside U.S. attorney to lead the Manhattan office, but backed down from the move when Berman demanded that he be replaced by Strauss. Even that right there is just another example of the Trump campaign, specifically Barr, attempting to worm their way into institutions for further political control. Nothing weird going on here, guys. Do not look behind the curtain. Nah, everything's fine. As TPM previously reported, Bannon served as a group's advisory board chairman. He's reportedly been taken into federal custody with help from the U.S. Postal Inspection Service. Hell yeah, Post Office, let's go. The law enforcement arm of the U.S. Postal Service. Hell yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. Based Post Service. He's now being accused of funneling $1 million of donations to We Build the Wall through his nonprofit to pay Kolfage and to cover his own personal expenses. Probably because he keeps getting fired from other things that he was a part of. I mean, it could be that. Could be that. Prosecutors also indicted Timothy Shea and Andrew Badolato, a Florida businessman. Arrangement was created to conceal the payments to Kolfage. The indictment alleges citing texts between Bannon and other members of We Build the Wall. Bannon explicitly approved the scheme, telling Boldato in one text that there would be no deals I don't approve, according to the indictment. Prosecutors cite repeated assurances from Kolfage that he would personally not take a penny of compensation from these donations. Uh-oh. As part of the fundraising effort, which was promised to crowdfund the private construction, Bannon was allegedly deeply involved in the messaging prosecutors now say was fraudulent by telling donators that the entirety of their contributions would go towards the wall building project. You hate to see it. Actually, you love to see it. You love to see it. Especially when people who are irrevocably corrupt end up getting their comeuppance for their own mistakes, their own screw-ups. It's beautiful. Now, it is pretty wild, though. Within 1 month of the fund's creation in January 2019, the indictment says We Build the Wall was faced with a quandary, having taken in $20 million in contributions by that point on a GoFundMe. It had to convince the same donors to opt in to having the donations transferred to a nonprofit that would then carry out the actual construction. For the transfer to go smoothly, Kolfage blasted out assurances that all the money would go directly to the wall, not anyone's pocket. Of course. I mean, Listen, they're on the side of angels, don't you know? They're on the good guys' side. There's no way they would ever dip into the pool. No way. That's something the other side would do, right? But the scheme began to unravel in October 2019, prosecutors say, after the defendants learned from a financial institution that there may be a federal crime investigation into the fundraising campaign. After that, the indictment says, the group began to communicate over encrypted messaging apps and scrubbed the website over any commitment to not take payment from the donated funds. Scurry little cockroaches. Prosecutors moved to seize funds across more than a dozen bank accounts, as well as a Jupiter Marine boat named Warfighter, the feds said Thursday. From the start, We Build the Wall was racked with controversy. Right-wing extremists and border vigilantes buzzed around the project constantly. The first wall project outside El Paso spilled boulders into Mexico, causing an international incident. Second project, built feet from the Rio Grande, showed worrying erosion damage after a tropical storm passed over the area. They're being nice. The damn wall blew over. It blew over. It's not a nice climate that they're trying to build a wall through, you know? It just fell over. I'm sorry. But look, really, this all comes down to the same old sad state of affairs, is that somebody tried to game the system. They tried to game the system. They tried to take that which they said they would not take, and now they're getting screwed for it. And good, they deserve it. But I also, I seem to remember this little cute video.
I founded the Root for the Wall PAC to fund this wall once and for all. The buck stops here. 63 million Trump voters together will help raise the money President Trump needs for the wall. Anyone who donates $100 or more will get a unique and exclusive commemorative wall brick. Display it proudly.
Wow.
Call 844-ROOT-WALL or go to rootwall.com right now. We will build this wall together. Trump started the revolution. We will finish it.
Man, if I was Wayne Allen Root right now, I would be hiring extra accountants to go through all of my financial documents, make sure everything is in a row. But one last thing that I want to kind of leave you guys with before we go and finish up this video. If Trump is so broke and he can't afford to build the wall, how in the world did he afford to send all of that money to try and bail out massive corporations and industries during the beginning of the pandemic? He could afford that, yet he couldn't afford the wall. That seems strange, doesn't it? Isn't that weird? That seems weird. Huh. I mean, you could think about it, but then you might have to question your convictions if you're a Trump supporter. I know that can be very uncomfortable.